Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we broadcast 2 hours today from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. If you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. There's a link to all of your instructors on the website, USAPREPARES.com, USAPrepares.com. Converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors, and wow, we have a lot of them today. Aaron is engineering the broadcast. Captain John Regan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Hey, you sound different.
I'm on Plan B today. While I was doing my morning research, I found out Skype was down worldwide. And when I tried it, the button wouldn't even push.
Wow.
So,
yeah. You know, John, as we talk about Plan B, we all need to have all kinds of Plan B. Plan Bs. I mean, from location to water to food to power generation. And I think that's one of the things that we spend a lot of time here on the farm, making sure that our Plan B works and actually making sure our Plan A is, really rock solid and dependable. Spent the weekend with our son covered in grease. We're working on a John Deere water pump on a 6-cylinder diesel engine. And we're, before I thought I'd share some thoughts about this. Before I work on a vehicle or a machine that has grease on it, I will degrease it. I'll spray it with, go to the Chinese factory outlet, and they have the least expensive, viable degreaser that I know of. And it comes in a tall can. You spray it on there, and you let it soak in for 15 or 20 minutes, and then you hose it off. You make sure you hose it in an area where, grease can be absorbed and not, do too much damage to the environment. So I like working on a clean engine, and especially when you put it back together, you want clean parts. So we spent a total of almost 2 days taking apart this tractor, having the water pump rebuilt, and then putting it back together. What a job. And I'm thinking that if you went to John Deere and you had them pick up the tractor and do the job for you, the whole job would be darn close to $1,500 to $2,000. Absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And I want to talk about something that I noticed. We used to use a gasket cement or a gasket material that came in a small can, maybe 4-ounce can with a brush cap, and you could dip the gasket cement onto the paper gasket, and it worked really well. It was sticky and hardly ever had any leaks. But we've replaced that. We've replaced that with silicone. These tubes of silicone that you can buy, like a 1-ounce tube for maybe $4. Here's the problem. You use that tube of silicone, and it does not keep well. Once you open it, it seems to dry out really quickly. So what I do is once I open them very carefully, put the cap on very carefully, and try to keep it for the next use. And I put the silicone tube in a Ziploc baggie to keep the air exchange to a minimum. And it helps preserve them so they last a little bit longer, but they still don't last very long. I want to contrast that with something like the Permatex the Permatex gasket cement, that would probably keep 20 years. So I decided that I was not going to use the silicone for this particular job, so I went out to the auto parts stores, and it's really hard to find. It really is hard to find the Permatex. I think it's called Super 300. Works really, really well. And it will, if you keep the lid tight, it'll probably last, 20 years, especially if you keep it in a baggie. So one of the things that I'd like to share is that if we think that we can keep this gasket making material, or if we think we can keep the rubber cement to patch and plug tires for years after we open it, forget it. It doesn't happen. So keep that in mind, and you may want to keep your tubes of volatile liquids in baggies and tightly close the baggies with Ziploc baggies to keep the air exchange to a minimum so it will last a longer time. So what'd you guys do?
Well, as an update, we talked about Becky's mother had a couple of rounds of back surgery the last week of August.
Right.
And Tuesday she was finally released from the hospital. They were actually hoping that would have been like the first Tuesday of this month.
Wow.
So that was, considerably longer in the hospital than what they were hoping for. And we went down to visit them this weekend and help take care of them because they're still working on arranging the in-home care. But, it's also taken, or put me further behind because they're out in the country. You can basically see a national forest from their back window. And I guess that's another story. The deer are coming and eating their plants, which is an indication that there's not enough food in the forest for the herd that's in there. And, because it's so remote, it works on satellite internet. So I'm always limited on internet when I'm there. So I'm already behind for the week. In fact, I had 3 hours working before breakfast this morning and another hour or so before the show. So it's, a 2-hour show, if that's all I did, it would probably translate to about 8 hours. And I do enough where I could do a week. So the good news is that Becky's mother is doing better. When we got there and Saturday morning at breakfast, she was at the point where she still wasn't really eating, and even the sight and smell of food was turning her off. Nothing sounded good. Her taste buds weren't working. By the time we left Sunday afternoon, there was food that she was asking for. It had taste. And she's able to sit up a little bit more, stay up longer, and she was even smiling. As far as the surgery goes, the sciatica that was in her legs is gone. She had saying the lower back pain was gone. But when you have basically your whole spine open for about 8 hours for what that second round of surgery was, it takes time to get over that and the pain associated with it. And she had said that her doctor told her that it was going to be about 3 times worse than her previous surgery a few years ago. And she said he lied. It was about 5 times worse.
Yeah.
But, like I said, the good news is she's home now and she's improving, and that's about the best you can ask for.
John, I'm so glad she's improving. It's been said many, many years ago, and I believe this is absolutely true, and this was by a doctor or a nurse, actually, or both, that you go to the hospital to be treated. You go home to get well. And I think it's absolutely true. If you look at hospital food, you wonder how anybody could even survive hospital food. It's, they serve things that I certainly would not want to eat. And that's the hospitals that I've been experienced with, but maybe there are others that have good meals. John, and on Friday, October 2nd, I'll be at the Kansas City. I'm sorry, I won't be there. On Friday, October 2nd, Rick Miller and Matt Stein, USA Preparedness instructors, will be at the RK Prepper Show at the KCI Expo Center in Kansas City. And that's an all-day seminar that they have. And the information's on the website, usapreparedness.com and rkpreppershows.com. And on Saturday and Sunday, I'll be joining Rick and Matt, and I'll be teaching a seminar, actually a couple of seminars on how to prepare and those kinds of things. And the information's on the website. It's going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward to our reunion. You know, Rick Miller, Matt Stein, and I think Joey's going to be there, and maybe some of our other instructors are going to be there. We're going to have dinner. So if you're interested in attending a prepper show where you can buy products, survival and preparedness products, and get some advice, and if you want to talk to some of your usapreparedness.com instructors, we'll be there. And the information's on the website, usapreparedness.com and rkpreppershows.com. John, where do you want to start today?
Well, speaking of preparedness, let's start with preparedness.
Okay.
And for those following along on my website, the financial state of the union.com, on the news tab, I'm actually going to start from the preparedness section of last week.
Okay.
And just as a quick notification, I think everybody knows I'm a customer of Cal Ben Soap Company.
Mm-hmm.
I wish these people had an affiliate program. It'd be nice to make money for doing this. But they have excellent products. And this month, through the end of the month, they're having a sale on their soap. And you can get the gallon size for $26, regularly $32. Now, soap is one of those things you need to know how to make, but it's also one of those things that right now it's inexpensive. You can stock up on it, and it doesn't go bad for a long, long time. So I like being able to stock up with their soap. And I will say this other thing. Their soap is based off of, or the shampoo is based off of coconut fat. So if you're one of those people that can't stand coconut, do not get the shampoo. But if you love coconut, it'd be great.
Yeah, Dr. Shealy likes coconut, and a lot of our instructors like it. Mrs. Finelli likes it. And, not the last time we bought soap, but the previous time to that was probably 10 to 15 years ago. And what we do is we let it air dry for a little bit, then we put it in those 5-gallon buckets and hammer the lids on them. And that soap stays really good for a long time. I'm talking about bar soap. And when you do that, you're going to find out about inflation because the bars are getting smaller. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then, too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to dollardownfall.com. Again, that's dollardownfall.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm, Principal Office in Houston, Texas, is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Captain John Regan's with us, U.S. Air Force Reserves retired. And John, I just want to mention, we're talking about soap. And the soap that we packed away 10 or 15 years ago was 5 ounces. The bars were 5 ounces, 3 for $1. And the bars were made in Canada. And they were soap. They weren't detergent bars. And now soap is really hard to find in a 5-ounce size. So they've improved them and made them smaller, and now they're about 3.5 ounces. So soap inflation in smaller, fun-sized bars. And then ice cream. Ice cream, well, you could buy it by the gallon or the half gallon. Gallon's 128 ounces, half gallon 64 ounces. And now they have the new improved fun size, which is 56 ounces. And they've improved that to the point where it's even more fun because some are now 48 ounces. And so I did a quick search on the internet about Dial soap, and it used to have 4.5 ounces, but they've made them a little smaller. And well, it was 5 ounces. The bath size was 5 ounces. They've downsized it to 4.5 ounces, and now they have a new shape. It's so much more convenient because you can actually hold on to this a little better. The only problem is they had to shave off another half an ounce to make that new shape work. So what we're doing is we're lying through marketing, and we're packaging, we're over packaging, and there's smaller products in the same size package, and it's outrageous. So what I'm doing is I'm avoiding this, and when I see this, I try not to shop there anymore. Got a call from our daughter, and she went to Home Depot and she bought a pressure washer, and she decided she wanted an electric one because she didn't want to have gas stored in the garage and drain the carburetor and all that stuff at the end of the season so that it wouldn't come up with the new improved alcohol and the gasoline, all the problems that causes. So she bought an electric one at Home Depot, and they were kind enough to sell it to her, and she tried it, and it had so little pressure she brought it right back. And they said, well, we're not going to give you a refund. We're not going to put it back on your credit card. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a gift card. And that's the best we're going to do. Now, that's right after she and her boyfriend were there, and that's where they had the display outside the front door, and they had the Halloween display. That's where they had the bales of hay and the corn stalks and all that, and it was on fire. So they got there, and there was this fire outside, and her boyfriend puts this fire out while the Home Depot employees are all standing there looking. They're looking to make sure everybody is able to get a good view of the fire. So her boyfriend uses the fire extinguisher. I guess it was his fire extinguisher. He puts it out. They get some garden hoses and they put this fire out. Now, why is it that they would have these bales of hay outside? I mean, does that make a lot of sense? And corn stalks, I mean, that's tinder, isn't it? And I can tell you that if a bale of hay catches on fire, it's really hard to put out. As a matter of fact, I've seen a bale of hay burn for weeks. You know, I'm talking about 1,000-pound bale of hay. You can just soak it with water. You heard of those peat fires, peat moss, you know, in Europe, and they burn for like 100 years, literally. Well, trying to put hay out is like really tough. So I can't understand why we do these silly things for Halloween anyway, let alone have these displays that could catch on fire in corn stalks. It makes no sense to me. But I guess that's how you sell, you know, these plastic costumes and plastic pumpkins and those kinds of things. I might post some pictures of this fire. It's kind of neat. Kind of amazing how ignorant of the facts the management can be. Having a display like this makes no sense at all. People smoke, people throw cigarettes wherever they want. Maybe somebody just dropped a cigarette, you know, in the bale of hay, just for fun, or by carelessness. Okay, John, back to you.
That's probably a good segue. Last week I had a link, Don't Let Your Laundry, and it talks about a London fire London laundry fire started when somebody folded their linens while they were hot, and there were oil in them, and it caught fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to let the clothes cool down first, or if you use one of those Amish solar-powered clothes dryers, otherwise known as a clothesline, you don't have to worry about things like this.
Yeah, and a great place if you happen to be at Lowe's, which I really don't like all that much either, the home improvement store, they have really great twine. So on the way out, you can, if you're going to tie something up, you know, make sure you get enough twine and keep it in one piece, and you can reuse it and make a clothesline out of it. It'll last about a year, even in the sun. Yeah, seriously. Makes a great clothesline. It's really heavy twine. It's polypropylene. Works great. John Regan and I will be right back after these few short commercial announcements. And the news that you have is, it's pretty disturbing. So let's get into that right after this break.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah.
Ah. When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor recommended Say Ah Sore Throat Exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with a medical grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAHHnow.com. SayAhNow.com. The new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tone to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
The human body is more than 60% water. Your brain and muscles are 75% water. And your blood is 92% water. Water's vital to your body, and alkalizing your water is the key to keep it running at its best. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops keep your entire body healthy, boosts energy, promotes weight loss, and even fights cancer. Call 800-518-7615 or go to alkavision.com to find out more. That's ALKAvision.com.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason!
Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI Armor.com. Come and take it.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levin, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trust has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218-HELP.
Captain John Regan is with us, and I'm at the Financial State of the Union. What? This thing, I can't, of all the pop-up ads to come up, this one comes up, and it's Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. I despise the Missouri Farm Bureau. Jeez, the Missouri Farm Bureau. Oh, man. And I have to call those guys today. Our son was driving. He was in his truck in Springfield last night, going back to school. He's in the city, going slowly. He stops. He starts moving forward, and a guy crashes into the back of him. He's driving a white Dodge 3/4 ton diesel pickup. If you can't see it, it's white. It's one of the biggest things around, right? If you can't see it, you can hear it. It's got a Cummins turbo diesel that you can hear for 4 blocks. Not that he has anything other than a factory exhaust system. It's just this engine rattles and bangs, and they all do. And I mean, if you hear in a parking lot this, a diesel truck making a lot of noise, it's a Cummins turbo diesel. It's just the way they were built. Guy crashes into the back of them. Now I have to call the Missouri Farm Bureau this afternoon. Oh, by the way, pop-up ad. How'd that happen? So tonight we have a meetup at Jimmy's Egg. 4:45 to 8. I'll be there. Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to talk about the topic. I'm not going to talk about what we're going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about anything. I'm just going to say I'm going to be there. Let's see what happens. John, what's next?
Before we get to that, I just want to say that if I drop off all of a sudden, it's because I was trying to push my mute button, and on this phone, the disconnect button is right next to that.
Hold it. Well, don't do it. Don't do it.
So if that happens, I'll call back as quickly as I can.
Yeah, okay. No, don't touch that button. All right, John. So
Okay.
I'm at the financialstateoftheunion.com. Where are we going?
Okay, I got one more link from the preparedness section of last week called Vacuum Seal Without Electricity. And in, our normal times today, there's these food saver products where you can pump the air out of bags and jars, and it helps keep your food fresher longer. The only problem is if there's no electricity, those things don't work.
Right.
And this is just absolutely brilliant. Somebody figured out that you can use a brake bleeder, handheld device you can get from the auto store, and use it to pump the air out of jars. And, there you go. You're able to keep your food fresher without electricity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And there's a guy who came to the expo, had a really neat idea also. This is with electricity. He took a air conditioning vacuum pump to evacuate the refrigerant in an air conditioning system on an automobile or a refrigerator or freezer or a home heat pump or home air conditioning system. And what is it? It's a compressor that kind of works backwards. Instead of compressing air, it creates a vacuum. And what he did was he made an adapter or bought an adapter that would fit on a pressure cooker. And he would put, let's say, a jar of, a canning jar with the lid loosely on the canning jar inside this pressure cooker. And he would put the beans or whatever, dried beans or whatever was going to be, sealed in this jar. In the jar, he would leave the jar lid just on a slight angle so that, I'm talking about like he'd leave the lid on a slight angle, and he would start the vacuum pump, and it would remove the air from the pressure cooker, and then he would just tap the side of the pressure cooker, and the lid would fall down and seal the jar and work perfectly. You could do about 6 jars at a time. Just takes a few minutes to evacuate the air. Worked really neat. So that's another way, but that's with electricity.
And I want to jump up to today's preparedness section. I've got a link there on whitewash. And I'm not really wanting to discuss how to make whitewash, but I want to just discuss the idea of making whitewash, which, it's just something good that, was used before people had a lot of access to paint.
Right.
But if you look at the ingredients, if the supply chain is shut down, where are you going to get those ingredients from? And in place of whitewash, just, put anything that you normally use, whether it's, ketchup, shoelaces, you name it. Just start substituting items that you regularly use, including all those ready-made products you get from the grocery store, and figure out how you're going to make that. And sometimes you'll find ingredients in there that you won't have ready access to because they're only available from the tropics. And so you have to decide, do you go with a different recipe on doing something, whether it's, food or whitewash, or, what's your plan B on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a recipe for general woodwork, and it says that it's got good adhesion and chalk resistance, and it can also stand, covered several days if, your project, you don't finish it right away. So for example, you can soak 50 pounds of hydrated lime in 6 gallons of water and stir it up and brush it on. So that could be used for fencing. It's whitewash. John, it's interesting you brought this up because I was talking with an 86-year-old man over the weekend. And, excuse me. And we were talking about painting. And he said, back in the 40s and the 30s, people used to make their own paint. We don't make our own paint anymore. We go to the convenience large chain home improvement store or the Walmart, and they have it there already mixed, and we just add some color to it, and off we go, and they shake it for us, and we take it home and apply it. But they used to add linseed oil and titanium dioxide or whatever color they wanted to the paint, and the painter would mix the paint. We don't do that anymore. So that's another skill that we've lost, making our own paint. And I wonder if paint lasted longer than it does now. Because right now it seems that paint peels if it's applied to wood. Now, if you apply paint to something that's not wood, like hardy planks, which is a concrete board, it seems to last a long time. We have some on our garage, freestanding garage. We used this concrete board, and we don't have any problems with the paint peeling off. We have problems with the fading, but not peeling. So it's probably lasted 6-7 years. No problems with adhesion. What's next?
And I put this link in the preparedness section. I called the link "We Made It." And this talks about your tinfoil hat is making us all look crazy. Right. If you remember a few months ago when all this Jade Helm stuff first came out, there was a lot of people saying this is preparation for martial law, and it's probably true, but this was just an exercise, not the event. And as we found out more about it, including the artificial intelligence that they've got, we talked about on air how they were using this to train that artificial intelligence for use at a later date. And along those lines, we recently had where, this is the Shemitah year, and the last couple of times we hit the 29th of Elul, we had, big changes in the market, and that did not happen this time. And, whether or not it happens during the season or not is kind of moot, because even if we woke up in the morning with God-fearing constitutionalists comprising all three branches of government, there's nothing we can do to stop the financial collapse. There's different ways of handling the results, but the actual collapse, not a thing. Even if we totally eliminated Social Security and Medicare today, can't stop it. And those are a couple of the larger items. And I'm looking at all these events that are going on. And it's like I said when I first presented the financial State of the Union. We don't know when this is going to happen. They can pull the trigger at any moment. All they have to do is raise interest rates up into the areas somewhere between 3 and 5%, and all the dominoes start falling, especially with the derivatives we have now. The other way, which I'm one of the ones concerned about, is we get into the hot war with Russia, China, North Korea, or Iran, where they just send up a few missiles and EMP wipes out our electric grid. Those, something that can happen at any time. But I'm looking at what happened in the last couple of weeks, and we'll get into that when we come back from the break.
Okay. John Regan's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. And John, by the way, I've been noticing that quality tools, made in USA tools, are really, really expensive. A used set of tools made in USA is way more expensive than a brand new set made in China. Way more expensive for a used set. An old used set. I'm talking 30, 40 years old. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
My name's Clyde, age 59, and I reside in Florence, South Carolina. The doctors diagnosed me as having clogged arteries. Felt like I was carrying heavy concrete blocks around my feet and legs. I started taking Heart and Body Extract as directed. It is less than 3 weeks, and I'm like a young man again. It's unbelievable that an herbal formula can work so fast and so powerfully.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at patriotnecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
Patriotnecklace.com?
Patriotnecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from patriotnecklace.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years, and Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
This is Dan Pillett. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Captain John Regan's with us. We've got a meetup tonight at Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 o'clock. I'll be there. Back to you, John Regan.
And just as backup to what I'm talking about, the financial section of this week is NERP Next, which is the top article. And in the bigger picture section of last week, remember the beginning and the next stage of the war. When I'm putting these pieces together and I'm thinking, we are actually in World War III right now. And the basic concept that we had back in the 60s, World War III, is it would start with nukes. And I think that was wrong. I think the war is actually going to end with nukes. And the war, I believe, actually started December 18th of 2010, which is an interesting date for me because that's the day I graduated with my master's degree in finance. The day before, December 17th, there was a Muslim man that set himself on fire to protest basically lack of freedom. And that gave birth to the Arab Spring, which was the first phase of this war. You add on another front with what's going on with Ukraine, where Soros and the West tried to co-opt the government, and Russia didn't exactly go along with that. And then there's, unlike World War II, where it was, you had your standard military and you had the various fronts going on in the war. Here we've got the economic war going on, which oil prices is part of that. We've got the advanced technology going on, which what's going on with the internet, and part of that may even be Skype being down today. But whether or not that's part of it, we do know that there are attacks going on using the internet and our computer technology. And then in the last couple of weeks, we've had the refugees flooding Europe. And the surprise out of the Fed meeting last week, there was a dot on their plot that suggested that they could go to negative interest rates. With our economic situation, if there's a downturn, the Fed has pretty much two choices. Do more QE, which we're not getting very much bang for that buck, or lower interest rates. And the problem is they're already sitting at zero. Now, Europe has already gone into negative interest rates, and the whole thing is insane. It's a way of trying to force the economy, because why would you save money when you're paying money just to lose money? It's bad enough when interest rates are so low that it doesn't even cover inflation, and you even need above that, because in addition to inflation, you're having to pay taxes. So you have a percent return above that just to come out ahead. But it's this refugee crisis that I'm looking at. We're basically seeing invasion troops come in, and they want to bring these into the United States as well. And from what I saw, is about 75% of the refugees are military-aged men. The remaining 25% is split between women and children. And the operation of whether it's NERP or the refugees, it's going to take a few months. And I'll talk about that when we come back from our break.
And John, let's just put an exclamation point on what you just said. Negative interest rates, meaning you're going to pay money to lose money. When I went to school, that wasn't even a remote thought. It never occurred to anybody that you would have to pay money to lose money in the banking system. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
That's the sound your brain makes when you realize you're buying something and forgot the coupon. Online or in a store, knowing that you're missing a deal is the worst. You need the app from Retail Me Not right now. Get thousands of coupons from 50,000 stores like Kohl's, Domino's, Best Buy, and more with crazy deals like 60% off, free shipping, and free gifts with purchase. You can get a text invite to download the Retail Me Not app 100% free right now for Apple or Android. Just text the code UPDATE to 42767. Then just show your phone at checkout to save. It literally couldn't be easier. It's 2015. Keep your coupons in your phone. Stop what you're doing and text UPDATE to 42767. Listeners will get a text with a link to download it 100% free. Never forget another coupon again. Text the code UPDATE to 42767 right now. That's UPDATE to 42767. Message and data rates may apply. For terms and privacy, visit Retail Me Not.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without a Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
My name is Dell, and I live in El Cajon, California. I was concerned about my cholesterol readings because I knew that high cholesterol is related to clogging of the arteries and increases the risk for heart attack and stroke. One day, I heard an ad for Heart and Body Extract, and I was skeptical, but I decided to give it a try. Man, the numbers don't lie.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Captain John Regan. Meet up tonight. John, just a short diversion or a detour. We heard at the top of the hour that Volkswagen has a problem with diesel vehicles that it's manufactured. And the news is that Volkswagen rigged emission tests on up to 500,000 vehicles. And the CEO of Volkswagen says that he's sorry for the broken trust. Now, what's happened is Volkswagen allegedly, according to the article that I'm reading, allegedly rigged the emission testing so that full emissions system would be turned on during the testing, and during normal operation, the emission system would be turned off. So Volkswagen has this broken trust, and it may be fined up to $18 billion by the U.S. government. $18 billion. Now, it looks like it could face up to civil penalties up to $37,500 for each vehicle not in compliance with the federal clean air rules. That's some 482,000 four-cylinder Volkswagen and Audi diesel cars sold since 2008. Now, It also says that while on the road, the cars can emit up to 40 times the level of pollution allowed under the clean air rules. So this was intentional. Now, I've got a problem with the federal government fining them. What I don't have a problem with is the federal government saying, okay, Volkswagen, that's it. We don't trust you, and here's what you're going to do. You are going to rebuy all of those vehicles that you sold here where you lied. Every single one. You're going to buy them back at the full price that the person that bought them from you paid. Full price. And if the vehicles were sold, we will apportion that to each successive owner. But the vehicles are all going back. They're not going to stay in this country. If we did something like that, the hit to Volkswagen would be so massive that no company would ever try to deceive us again. And then we do the same things to all these other companies who are lying and cheating and misrepresenting what they sell us. But it's not just VW. Who else has lied to us? Well, that would be Apple Computer, right? With their built-in cooperation with the federal government to spy on us through our cell phones. Verizon, giving governments the information that they want about us. There are a whole bunch of companies that are involved in this. I went to O'Reilly's over the weekend because I needed to buy something. It's an auto parts store. And they had many of their products when we bought them had a lifetime warranty. So when you buy something that has a lifetime warranty, you think that, I'm going to keep this truck for a long time. So lifetime guarantee, I think I'll get one of those. So you pay a little more and then they say, you know what, that lifetime warranty, well, it doesn't apply really anymore. What we have now is, we're going to give you this one, but then it's a 1-year warranty. So you buy something that you think is going to last the lifetime of your vehicle. They replace it because it fails, and they replace it with a replacement that's warranted for 1 year. So you originally bought something that you thought would last the life of your vehicle, or if it didn't, you get a free replacement, and you could do all the work of putting it on yourself. And then when it fails, you could do all the work of putting the next one on yourself. But they changed the warranty, so now they've reduced it from 1 year, from lifetime to 1 year. Now, that happened with a company called Advance Auto in Virginia. I have a General Motors 6.5 liter 1994 turbo diesel Blazer. It's a full-size Blazer with a turbo diesel. They only made 500 of them. So the alternator failed, the original alternator failed, and I bought one in Advance Auto lifetime warranty. It lasted a few months, and I brought it back, and they said, okay, here's the replacement. Lasted a few months, and I brought it back, and they said, what are you doing? I said, I'm not doing anything. These things are not being rebuilt right. And so they gave me another one. And they finally said, that's it. That's it. They didn't say, geez, we're really sorry that we're selling you crappy products that have a really high failure rate. They beat me up, and they said they'd never give me another one because obviously I'm doing something wrong. And it's not me. They were failing internally from cheap components. So my lifetime warranty was worthless. And they didn't say, we're really, really sorry that you've had to replace 5 of these with your own labor. Now, what would it cost somebody to have a mechanic replace 5 alternators? Let's say they do it for $100 a piece. That'd be $500. This is the kind of nonsense that we're dealing with. Companies really don't stand behind their products the way they used to. John Regan?
Well, I'm thinking of some other liars out there. I'm thinking it'd be great to have a constitutional amendment where if an official violates intentionally their oath of office to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, they're the guest of honor at a public hanging. If they're from the executive branch in front of the White House, they're from the legislative branch in front of the Capitol building. If they're from court, in front of the Supreme Court. Now, if it's only unintentional violating their oath of office, then they're immediately removed from office, lifetime ban on holding an office, nor can they earn money for influencing legislation, policy, or court decisions.
And that lifetime salary that they get, that stops.
Of course, we'll never see such a constitutional amendment because the inmates are in charge of the asylum.
Yeah, Mike Parsons, when he goes to debates, he will ask the candidate, something like this: do you pledge that if you violate your oath of office, you'll immediately step down? And the answer is always the same: no.
So we were talking about what's going on in the world, and there was another bit of news at the top of the hour about the Pope coming to America, and was also speaking at the UN. And there's a lot of people out there believe that, they're going to announce the implementation of the New World Order. I don't think we're going to see that. I do think we'll probably see the Pope talk about his support for the climate change control, which we need to keep our eyes out for the conference going on in Paris later this year, where they're trying to implement mandatory controls. That's another side discussion. Getting back to the refugee crisis, Europe is broke. The United States is broke. We can't afford millions of people draining our resources. And while it won't crash the systems overnight, it will make things worse. And in addition to that, you've got this nice Trojan horse where you've got, probably ISIS and other groups mixed in with these refugees that gives enough people to do serious damage. Because even if you don't go the EMP route, which requires sending nukes up with a missile, you've talked about, what was it, half a dozen transformers can be taken out, crashes the grid.
Absolutely. One cartridge, one 223 will do it slowly. One 30 caliber will do it a little faster. And, I'm talking about a 50-cent cartridge. I'm certainly not recommending it. I'm not going to say how to do it. But what I am saying is the grid is really at risk.
And of course you do things like drones with, something flammable or corrosive. There's so many ways that this can be done. And once that grid's down, we're looking at more than 99% of people being dead in about 6 to 8 weeks, simply because of lack of food. And I know that we hear the rules of thumb, 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Well, that's the healthy ranges. People can go longer than 3 minutes without air, but you reach a point where if you do get revived, you probably have brain damage. Now we look at Terry Schiavo. She lasted for, I believe, over a week. You can live without water for more than 3 days, but the longer you go, your body ends up getting damaged, and in some cases to the point where you don't really ever recover from that. And it's the same thing with food. You can go 3 to 4 weeks without food, but once you go beyond that, your body starts accumulating permanent damage. But there's, a point which is about 6 weeks out that your body just gives up at that point. And if there's no food, and of course we've talked about it a lot, if you're not raising your own food already, you don't have time to raise food once the crisis starts. Whatever is available is all that's available, and then all the foraging starts. But there's only, so much in the way of veggies, which are low calorie. There's not that many animals. There's just over 30 million deer for over 300 million people. Squirrels, dogs, cats, and eventually people. It's all going to run out.
Yeah, and our farm only has one squirrel that we can find. One. But Mike Parsons is, I believe he's joining us. He's calling in. So, Mike, hold that thought and hold the line, and we'll put you on as soon as we come back from this break. Captain John Regan's with us. I'm Ben Finelli. Meet up tonight. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else. Except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallet, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period, with packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Captain John Regan's with us, and Mike from Tennessee. Welcome, Mike Parsons.
Greetings, guys. I just wanted to fine-tune for John just a moment. John, if it really does hit the fan and food becomes scarce, go down down to the local city hall because they have an abundant supply of fruits, nuts, squirrels, and rats. My God, if they've got so many rats there, you will not have to worry about food. And earlier you were talking about what to do with certain individuals, the legislative branch. Well, I got to thinking Thomas Jefferson constantly spoke of the Tree of Liberty. And I think that the true way
Mike, you're breaking up. Mike, you're breaking up. We can't hear, literally, can't hear a word you're saying. Mike just got disconnected. And so I think what he was saying is the Tree of Liberty needs to be pruned from time to time, as Thomas Jefferson said. John Regan, back to you.
But just to make some fun on part of that, when I went to Germany, it's interesting how some words are put together. And in Germany, the name for City Hall is Rathaus. And, I think how appropriate. Anyway, we were talking about what's going on with these refugees and the possibility of negative interest rates. So that's telegraphing a couple of things to me. One, if they're talking about negative interest rates, that means that they're probably not going to raise interest rates, especially in the pre-convention season of the presidential politics. This refugee crisis, no matter how humanitarian they want to be, which will take some months before people get sick and tired of their broke countries paying for millions of freeloaders, that takes time to develop. So what it's looking like to me is I think we've probably got through the conventions, which are in July. So between now and August, I would think we have some time and use that time to do everything you can to get ready. Because after that, I would say all bets are off.
Well, as a matter of fact, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about tonight at the meetup. Exactly that. I'm going to talk about the time we have left and how it is difficult. It's extremely difficult for me to get all the things that I need to get done with my schedule. So, literally, that is what we're going to talk about tonight at the meetup. And I'm also going to show a movie about cell phones. So those of you who really love your cell phones, you probably don't want to come. We're going to talk about being programmed by your cell phones. Hard to believe. And we'll talk about that. So, John, what I'm seeing is more chemical spraying. I'm seeing people saying that they're more tired than they've ever been before. I'm seeing people worried about the economy. I'm seeing people, but then I'm also seeing people who are absolutely not paying attention at all. Not paying attention to the point where they're saying, you know what, if things are going to be bad, I'm just going to have a good time. It's like the Titanic and the band's playing. It's unbelievable. And by the way, Thomas Jefferson said the Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. And I believe that's what Mike Parsons was talking about. And it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. We go along and we just want to be left alone, and they just won't leave us alone. What's next?
In the financial section for this week, at the bottom, I have a couple of links, revisiting GDP change and what growth. And I give these to you for your reference. We talked about it earlier this year. The government changed the way they are calculating GDP, so it's even a bigger lie. And the second one talks about that being in the 3% range, and I'll talk about the repercussions of that when we get back.
Captain John Regan, Vin Finelli, USAprepares.com, and if you want to follow along with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, and click on the news tab. We'll be right back.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Captain John Regan's with us. The Financial State of the Union.com. We're at the news tab. Mike from Tennessee, you're calling back. Welcome.
Hey guys, I'm traveling right now, so I didn't realize I was going to drop off like that. But I just wanted to give all the people that are in the Memphis area listening. You're on 1600 WMQM in Memphis, and I think it replays at 7:00 there, and it covers a pretty good area. But I never hear anybody from Memphis call in that frequently. But right now they have an election going on, and over the last 2 weeks on this station, they've had other hosts having the candidates come in, and every one of them I've had the opportunity to call and ask the same question. They'll go down their list of what they're going to do for this one radio station, has its preferences on issues, and they'll support all those issues. And I asked them this one simple question: would you be willing, since you agree to all these things that this host wants you to agree to, would you be willing to sign a contract committing to that, and that in the event that you fail to support those core issues, that you would immediately resign and refund every dime that you've been paid since you've been in office? Not a single taker on that commitment, not one. That means that every one of them reserves the right to change their mind and vote against the wishes of those people that voted for them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. And I applaud you, Mike, for doing that. And let's teach the entire class. Mike, please repeat that. Let's make it really simple. So if you're listening to a candidate, call them up on the radio or appear in a meeting and ask the question. Please repeat the question, Mike.
Would you be willing to sign a contract, a commitment, as it were, that during the time in office, you will support the issues that you said you would support, that you will not vote against those things that we want, and in the event that you do, that you will immediately resign and refund every dime that you've been paid since elected?
There you go. John Regan, what do you think?
I still want my constitutional amendment.
Okay, and please repeat your constitutional amendment.
That's where anybody that has taken the oath of office to uphold and defend the Constitution, if they intentionally break that, they're the honored guests at a public hanging.
Mike, what do you think?
Well, that's where those strong branches in that tree of liberty come in handy, and of course those strong ropes to support those strong individuals with the weak Constitution on those strong branches of the tree of liberty come in play. But right now, people have to realize that these people that they're electing are not going to do what they want. It's a fraud. It's a rigged game. I don't know if, other than maybe Ron Paul, who fought for so many years in Congress trying to square things up and get people on track. I went to one campaign debate, and I asked the candidates, there was 5 of them on stage, and I said, all of you people want to be the Republican nominee for Senate in the state of Tennessee. I'll ask you all a simple question. When's the last time you read the state constitution? Would you agree to uphold it? And please quote for me just one phrase or sentence or part of the state constitution. Doesn't matter where it is, just any one part of it. Not a one of these learned individuals could remember when they'd read the Constitution, nor could they recite any part of the state constitution, nor would they agree to uphold the Constitution.
So why would we want to vote for any of them?
I can't understand
Mike,
why we...
Mike, it's really hard to hear you. By the way, I'm looking forward to chatting with you after the broadcast. Mike, thanks so much. John, it's back to you and me.
Okay. We were talking about GDP.
Right.
And that article that the link's entitled "What Growth" talks about how what we've talked about before. When you understate inflation, you're overstating what's called real GDP, which is what's reported. And that was before these changes in calculations. They're saying this new GDP will be about 3% higher than the old GDP. So when you see a GDP rate of less than 3%, that means what they used to track, the way they used to track it, is negative. If you have 2 negative quarters in a row, that is now the definition for a recession. And we're seeing that in other countries that haven't learned how to lie better, like Canada, it's in recession. And we've seen all these charts I presented where there's a suggestion that we're in recession, and if we had negative GDP for 2 quarters, it would be guaranteed. But we might not see negative GDP for a while because of all these changes that they've done to improve their lives. And I guess let's go ahead and I've got a couple of nice links in A Tale of Two Droughts. There's a water map that I want to have people aware of. It's whether you're looking at where you're at now, or if you're looking at trying to move somewhere for when the poop hits the props, this might help you make some decisions, because if you don't have water, you're not going to have food. And it shows maps of the soil surface moisture, the root zone, as well as the groundwater. And I tell you, just about everything west of the Continental Divide is not looking good for groundwater storage. There's some spots here and there, but overall it's not good. And groundwater also isn't good in the east. You've got the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic are really bad. And I wouldn't want to be east of the Mississippi anyway, simply because of the large population that's concentrated in that area. So I leave that as a tool for you. And then I've got an article on El Nino that I entitled El No-No. Experts are saying that this may cause more damage to California, that it may bring another year of drought to the region, and that Southern California could see heavy rains, which, when you get heavy rains, a lot of that just ends up running off and just does more damage than what it helps. So that's, another part of the puzzle to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and John,
food.
I've been frustrated for a long time now, and every once in a while I'll ask our meetup group, "Are you more prepared than you were 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?" It's so easy to get distracted. It really is. And it's even easy for me to be distracted. It's easy for everyone to be distracted. But what I'm trying to do is, I'm doing the opposite. John, I'm looking at how little time we have left. Whatever time we have left, there's less of it today than there was yesterday. And tomorrow, it's going to be the same thing every day, less and less than the day before. And I am literally working as many hours as I can to fix as many things as I can while I can still get the parts, while they're still somewhat affordable, because I think that hyperinflation is coming. I think that parts availability is going to decrease. I think it's going to be harder to get things done. And I even said to our family, if we wanted to build this house today, the very house that we built 10 years ago, I think it would be impossible, literally impossible, to find talented help to help us with it. So if we wanted stonemasons to help us that were affordable, I don't know where they went. I don't see the trucks with ladders anymore riding around on the highways. I don't see that. I don't see construction. I'm wondering, 10 years, did we lose everybody that knows how to hammer and saw in straight lines and know how to use a level and a saw and a square? Do we lose that talent? I think we lost a lot of it. And I'm really concerned about it. At the same time, real quality tools are going up in price. Our equipment like lathes and mills and heavy equipment, machinery, they're going to third world countries. They're buying it because we don't have the people that know how to use it. Let me ask you this. How many people do you know? I'm asking our entire class. How many people do you know that are machinists? How many do you know? I know one. I know one machinist. One. We used to have machinists all over the place. I only know one. Who would teach a young person how to use a lathe or a mill or a drill press? My son took a test, John. At college, he's taking this class in farm machinery repair. And they're resurfacing valves and things like that. And one of his instructors said, okay, so class, what do you do if you can't get a bolt loose? You want to loosen a bolt and it seems like it doesn't want to come out. What do you do? And, the standard things like spray it with a penetrant, to loosen it. All those things came out. And my son said, tighten it. You tighten it first, and then loosen it. And the instructor was absolutely stunned. And so my son told him all kinds of older methods of yesteryear, that are not being taught in school. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah.
When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor recommended Say Ah Sore Throat Exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with a medical grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAHHnow.com. SayAhNow.com, the new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
Does being over 40 make you feel like half the man you used to be? Do you feel more tired, out of shape, not in the mood like you used to be? Thanks to an exclusive formula, you can help boost testosterone levels safely and naturally. Introducing Ageless Male, a life-changing supplement for men tested to help increase testosterone levels.
You'll notice a boost in your energy levels. Workouts work, sex life improves. It's like a light switch goes on.
Try Ageless Male risk-free if you would like to experience what taking Ageless Male can feel like. Support for healthy, normal testosterone levels, healthy energy, and increased performance, and more romance when you want it.
Call 1-800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821.
We've all heard the news stories. Another shooting. And they're getting worse. That's why Infidel Body Armor introduces Infidel Fridays. Exclusive 24-hour insider deals to save you money and possibly save your life. Make it a favorite when you log on to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Then be sure to visit each and every Infidel Friday to get special insider pricing, but for 24 hours only. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
John, I mentioned I'm frustrated, and here's why. If we believe that the California drought could last, I don't know, months, what would we do about it? If we believed it could last years, what would we do? If we believed it could last decades, what would we do? Well, the same thing is true for all the other things that we believe are happening. But I don't believe that enough of us are doing enough to prepare our family for our family's safety. I don't believe it. I don't believe that if half of what we say is true, just half of what we say is true here, the financial collapse, the power grid, supply chain disruptions, if half of this were true, we should be in a panic. Michael in New York, welcome.
Well, good morning, Vincent and John. You know, I just wanted to comment real quick, guys, that a while back during that news break when they reported on Volkswagen fraudulent reports on their diesel engine, they also mentioned that employment was up, guys, and everything's looking good. So, I mean, look, the commie Nazi propaganda machine that gave us NAFTA, CAFTA, and unlawful money, they wouldn't lie to us, would they?
No, I've got an article on that today. First one in the employment section, just a little revision. And for young people that don't understand how newspapers work, they'd break a story on the front page, and if something was wrong, they'd print a retraction later in small print on page A21. Well, they just revised basically a full month of job gains away for the year ending March 2015. total non-farm payroll jobs were revised down 208,000. And you're not going to see that on the mainstream news. You're just going to see the press release number of low unemployment.
There you go. I guess, you know, they're prone to making errors, guys, and mistakes, I guess, but it's very rare and infrequent, of course, because they're so reliable. But real quick, guys.
Same thing is true in the Christmas sales forecast. They said we're going to have a great Christmas selling season, you know, before, and sales are brisk. And you look at the video that they're showing, there's nobody in the mall. You know, like, what are they saying? And then in January they say, you know, sales were really brisk, and in February they say, well, they're not quite as brisk as we thought. And by March they're saying, actually, it was the worst Christmas in years.
You know, and I think, Vincent, prior to the Christmas holiday, what they're doing is just hyping it all up to get the sheeple suckers to believe, well, everybody else is out there buying that commie crap from China. I might as well go buy some too. I think that's what they're they're manipulating people in that fashion during that time frame. But guys, here you have it. A $10 note from 1950, Federal Reserve note. And on the bottom of it, it says, we'll pay to the bearer on demand. Doesn't say what. Of course, that's just an extension, a remnant of the full version American notes that would, United States notes that would say we'll pay to the bearer on demand in gold and silver. But here's the other part. In the small print, this note is legal tender for all debts public and private, which all the Federal Reserve notes say today. But it goes on to say, and is redeemable in lawful money at any U.S. Treasury or Federal Reserve Bank. That's the crux of all our problems right there. Unlawful money, debt-based currency, and our government taxing the producers to death drove them out of business. That's where they all went, Vincent, the Masons. They're driven out of business because they're taxed to death, because the traders and domestic enemies in our government are borrowing money from a money cartel, with tremendous daily compounded interest, and they got to keep taxing the producers to pay off that interest. And that's the main root of all our problems, gentlemen.
John Regan?
Yeah, it's talked about that in the Financial State of the Union, how the obligatory clause changed over time.
Yeah. Michael, thanks so much for calling in. John Regan, great series of posts on the Financial State of the Union. The news tab, class, if you want to read about California's drought, it's very serious. Negative interest rates, real income, and you've got something called 9 charts in the financial section. Thus, I suggest you take a look at it. We're talking about thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Click on the news tab, and some great articles worth reading. And maybe they will continue keeping that fire lit under all of us. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else. Except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.